Okay, we have shot a few snow geese. We've been very fortunate. We were up in the middle of Alberta in the Pacific migration. The snow geese are still coming through, so on Earth Day we celebrated by shooting 27 snow geese. Makes me happy. So my share was 6, and since some of us can't count, I have 7 birds here. We have some of our lesser snow geese. This is a juvenile male. Actually, might be a male, might be a female. But here is a juvenile snow goose, and we were shooting a lot of Rossies. This is a Ross goose, and if you look at the size of these birds, there's quite a big difference. Length of head, length of body. This is a year-old bird. This bird here is probably 2 or 3 years old. It's an adult. You can tell a little bit difference too. The beaks are quite a bit different. You'll see the shape of the beak and the size of the beak, size of the head. But also what you'll get is, it's called a carbuncle. They have these little warts along the side of their beak. And a lot of times they'll get bigger and knobbier as they get older. These guys here, we're pretty sure that our snow geese here, that these guys are wintering in, they're migrating from California, Gulf of Mexico. We are in the Pacific migration, so for sure California. They're going up to Alaska. We have shot quite a few banded last year, and they were all Alaska birds. It's kind of cool. These guys here, these Rossies, these guys breed in Nunavut. We shot 2 banded so far. They were both Nunavut, Johnson's Point, and this week I don't know exactly where the other ones were banded, but they were banded in Nunavut as well. These are little Rossies. They're kind of cool. They're very small, size of a large mallard. Pretty cool. A couple of friends have asked me, what do we do with these birds? I mean, a lot of people that are new to the sport, they go, well, what do you do with the birds? Some days I'll come home and I'll have 20 of these things. We'll have 30 of them. What do we do? In the field, we usually cut them up. We usually breast them, so that way all we have is the chest and the wings coming home, so we don't have any of the guts. But last night it got a little late. We thought, who cares? We'll just do this at home. And when I only got 6 or 7, it doesn't make a speck of difference. I'm just going to take the meat off. People say, what do we do with these things? Well, what I do is I'll take the chest meat right off it, the breast meat. That's the best meat on the bird. If it's not shot up, we eat it. If it's got some pellet holes in it, it goes straight to the dog. Piper just loves it. That's what she gets, so it all gets used. What we also do is we cut the wings off. Boom. I'll take a few of them. I don't take everyone off, but I do that due to the fact that these are fantastic for dog training. She loves to play with wings. If I want to make a mess in the backyard, I'll throw a wing at her. She just loves it. And she just shreds the thing, rolls on it, chews it up, whole bit. But we use it for dog retrieving. And also, I take the feet. We snip them. And then what I'll do is I actually dry these feet up on my drywall of my garage here. And you can use a dehydrator. I don't care. I usually have 30, 40 of them laying on the wall anyways. We dry them out. Dog treats. My dog just goes ape over these things. Best thing going. And it's free. Okay, what do you need? Knife, cutter if you're cutting off wings, a stone. I just try to keep an edge. Every once in a while you'll hit a pellet or you'll really nail the bone. It's easier always to have a sharp knife. Ziploc bags, and I always keep one for puppy dog meat and human meat, and a cutting board. The cutting board is just there to trim up. What we're going to do when we start with these guys is I'm going to start with one of these little Rossies. They're kind of small. The nice thing about the snow geese is their skin just tears so easy. So I'm just going to tear the skin, and they peel like a grape. Snow geese have almost no fat underneath them. It's just pull and tear. Now this guy here looks like he's been shot up a little bit. He has a couple of pellet holes. You'll see some of the little black in there. That's just some little woogers. He took a few to the chest. This side over here is going to be going to Piper. This side over here looks like it's going to be going to us. So you just take your nice sharp knife, and there is this wonderful ridge bone right here, right down the chest. I'm going to just follow that. And I'm not going to get too incredibly carried away because we do a lot of these things and we have lots of this meat. Some guys will just get in there and they'll just try to get every little scrap of meat off, and that's cool. That's not me. And I will go along the collarbone. I've heard some people say that now you can just run your fingers in there and you can actually tear it off with your hands. Yeah, you can. It's not a big deal if you want to do that. And all I'm going to do is just kind of cut along the rib cage. So the gut sac is still attached. I haven't opened it up. And usually I have my dog out here. She's away visiting the dog breeder because we want to have a little pups. This little tidbit of meat I usually chuck at her. So she's usually sitting right beside me waiting for little meat scraps. Might have to save that little Ziploc bag for when she gets home. And then all I'm going to do is just cut around. There we have a Ross goose breast. Right there. I'll do a snow goose because they're a little bit bigger. It'll show up a little easier. Now here's the damaged one. There we go. As you can see, this guy here has got some good pellet damage, some of the black. That one's going to go straight to puppy dog. Now, when you have these guys, you're going to ask, well, what are you going to do with the guts? What are you going to do with the rest of it? That's something you have to prepare for. The good thing about where I live, we have a green bin program. It's composting. And I specifically asked, can I throw in a bird carcass? And they say yes. And our recycling program has seen many, many, many bird carcasses. Here again, you see the little feathers are flying. We'll use a few of these. Like, I don't take every one. I'll probably take 5 or 6 good wings. I freeze them, keep them in my freezer. Dog just loves them. Okay, snow goose. So this is still a juvenile. You can tell because he's got his dark feathers. If they're adult, they'd be sterling white. And we didn't take many adults. We took mostly juveniles today, which is kind of cool. When these birds are warm too, like just fresh, they just peel like a grape. It's actually, you can just tear the skin off in one pass. It's quite nice. Some people have said, can you pluck them? Can you roast them? Yeah, if you really want. I don't pluck birds. I got better things to do with my time. All right, this bird looks pretty intact. All right. Now, if you're going to compare these to a Canada goose, they're about 1/3 the size of a Canada goose. There again, same procedure, right down the breastbone. And I'm going to go up along the collarbone, right up to the wing. And I'm going to go along the bottom there and just start to remove it from the chest. Here's Piper's little tidbit. Put that right there. I'm going to go up against the wing joint itself. I can feel the socket right there. Okay. These are juveniles. These are a small snow goose. And if you kind of compare it to a Ross goose, that was a prime adult. This is a juvenile. They'll get quite a bit bigger as they get adults too. We've had some snow geese that actually have very big chests. Okay, so I'm going to do this one now. Someone say, oh, you're wasting meat, you're leaving some meat on there. I'd say, yeah, I am. I also have a freezer full of these things. So perfect. That will go into human pile. This is puppy pile. So now I have this. I'm going to take the little inside muscle. This was going for the dog. She's going to be the recipient of that. Okay. There we go. Snow goose. is done. It's going to be a little bit nasty, but I'm going to show you another little trick and see if I can remember this. I'm going to tear the skin off this chest. Okay. All right, so there we go. Same thing. Cut down, off we go. All right. Just for the record, do one more so you guys can see. Now, the guts of these things really stink. When they get shot up and the guts are in here, it's nasty. I like to do this in the field a lot more, because that way I'm not in an enclosed space and smell. Bird guts, bird blood and guts actually have a very unique smell to them. Not nice though. But if you get the blood out of the meat, it's actually fantastic. People say, oh, snow geese is terrible meat. Those are people that have never eaten snow goose, and they also don't know how to cook snow goose, and they're guys that don't hunt them. I think snow geese are better in Canada's. These birds eat grain non-stop. It's all they eat, all the way down from the Gulf of Mexico, where they winter, all the way up to the Arctic. As soon as they hit the grain fields, they're porking out on grain. What we will do with these breasts is I clean them up, put them on the cutting table, just take all the little fat and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't taste very nice. Take that off. And then what I'll do is I will cure this stuff. I'll put a dry cure on it, even like a jerky cure. Put jerky cure on it and we extract the blood. Let it sit for 2 days, and then what I'll do is I'll actually smoke the breast. We put it in the freezer, fridge, cool down, then I meat slicer. We get these little strips. Oh, it comes out just amazing. Haven't had anybody who I've given it that hasn't asked for more. It's good stuff. What we can also do too is if you want to barbecue these things, what I will do is I will take olive oil, steak spice, and then I will marinate it in olive oil and steak spice for at least 6 hours. And it gets all the blood and stuff out, and you barbecue it. I'll cut it in little strips like this, right down, follow the length of it, not sideways, but lengthways. Put it on the barbecue. Oh, it's like steak. Secret to cooking up good goose meat is get the blood out. If you leave the blood that's still in this bird, it will not taste good. And also, do not overcook it. You can eat the stuff rare. I eat it rare all the time. This is not poultry, this is fowl. This is different. It doesn't have the E. coli. You go out there, you can cook it. But if you overcook the stuff, it is just the grossest stuff in the world. It's a boot. There's no fat in this meat. It's incredibly lean. You have to add fat to it. If you're frying it, you want to make sure you're frying it with some oil because it will be boot leather. Really gross. So there we go. That's what I'm doing, and I'm just going to continue finishing on with these birds. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, which you'll also notice that if you're a troll and you're trying to get your little point across, it's not going to come through because I edit every post that comes on our site. Because if you're a troll, I couldn't care less if you're watching, but if you have a legitimate question, more than willing to ask, you to ask it. I will tell what I know. No expert, we just do this a lot. But I hope you have a good time. Get out and do some hunting. Feel free to like. Talk to you later.